I accidentally picked up this 2004 F250 off of Ritchie Brothers. I won it for about $1,600, not about. I ended up paying more after all their fees and taxes and everything. I paid about $2,000 out the door for it, but I won it at auction for $1,600. I went looking at Ritchie Brothers for other equipment, other things I'd be interested in, and I saw this thing. I didn't win any of those things I was interested in. They all just kind of went above what I was willing to spend. And I saw this thing for $1,000, and I thought, there's no way I'm gonna let that go for that price, thinking I could get it for $1,100. I ended up, they put a reserve bid, whoever had it before. I ended up going all the way up to $1,600. They set the reserve bid at $15. So I won it for $16. I Kelly Blue Booked even with all of its current issues, and I think that I'm still on top a few $100 at the very least for what I could sell it for, versus what I paid for it. And that's at the very low end. If I fix some of these issues, clean some of it up a little bit, you know, list it for the high end and then maybe get about the fair range, I could potentially make a couple $1,000 if ultimately I decide to sell it. I haven't really officially decided to sell it yet, and I'll talk about all those things in a different video. I'm going to compare all the issues with my 2004 Chevy Silverado 1500. That's a half-ton truck to this F250, and when I get to that video, I'm going to ask to hear your thoughts. Anybody that watches the video, what you think, which truck you'd pick up. But in this video, I'm just going to show you all the issues with this truck and just kind of go over what I won. Just to start off with, it is a 2004 Ford F250. I believe it's the XL trim. It's the most basic, just basic work truck trim. It's got an 8-foot bed. It's a 3/4 ton truck, has the 5.4 liter Triton engine. I drove it up from Phoenix. I purchased it in Phoenix, brought it home last night. It drove fine all the way up. I do know that it needs new steering bad. We'll get to that. Just kind of the basic information, but I drove it home 240 miles, 250 miles roughly, and it ran fine. It's a decent driving truck, but let's get into all the problems. I'm sure one of them you can see right off the bat is the broken window. We'll just start off up here in the front. Obviously there's some fading. The bumper looks to be a little bit lower. It's actually the first time I've noticed it. Looks to be a little bit lower over here on this side than over there, so that apparently got hit at some point. Or actually, I think it's actually the opposite. I think that this side got hit in this way, towards me. Little out of square there. Obviously some fading. It's 20 years old now, so I mean, it's gonna have stuff like that. Some little dents, some a little more minor, some a little more major here on the front. We'll just move around this side. This front panel should not be too terribly hard to get this big dent out, and I'm really not too concerned about it, right? This isn't ever going to be used as some kind of show truck. It's literally just going to be a work truck, little homestead farm truck, if you will. I've got some dent removal tools, and I've got access from the inside to this, and I think it shouldn't really be too terribly hard to pop out. It's got good tires all the way around it, except for this one. This one has really bad wear on the outside, so it needs an alignment, and it needs steering components real bad. I'll talk about that here. The steering components that it needs is basically a whole new front end. I kind of had a real wobbly steering on the way home. I think I need to just replace all the front end parts, like I literally just did with my Silverado there 2 weeks ago. I replaced every single steering component on it, and yeah, so I'll get to do that again if this is the truck I ultimately decide to keep. I'm kind of leaning that way, but all the tires are matching. The wheel covers are all in pretty good shape. Obviously it was a fleet truck. It was numbered 97. Yeah, this is probably the most major cosmetic issue, but shouldn't really cost me too much, as all the hardware is there to fix. I'm kind of guessing, hopefully it'll come through. We got some lighting issues here. I'm suspecting that the window was broken at the auction lot. I guess I think that just because it's all smashed here in the truck and nobody wanted to do anything to try and fix that or take care of it, or I don't know. I should be able to replace it all fairly easy. I can buy the glass off of Amazon for like 50 bucks. More minor dents and scratches, maybe a little more major to some people. To me, they're minor, kind of going across. Really good tread. This is a really good one to show you on. I mean, there's at least 3/4 of that life of that tire left, if not a little more. Some more dents and scratches. We'll show you inside the bed. It's got the 8-foot bed. which for, you know, a primarily wood hauling and material hauling truck is going to be really desirable for me, versus my 6.5 foot bed that I lose like 2 feet on because of my toolbox. I don't know that this bumper went with this truck. This looks like a little bit newer of an era to go with this truck. Got some good dings on the back of the truck, got a towing package. And then we come over to this side. Same good tires. Little, you know, kind of a major dent there, very shallow. I think I'll be able to pop that out, or at least I'm hoping I will. And door handles, pretty rough on this passenger side. Then obviously this thing got hit somewhere at some point in time by someone. I think I'll be able to bend that back pretty easily. My wife says heat it up. I don't even know if I'm gonna take my time to do that. I think I can take a pipe wrench to it and get it at least looking better than that. I don't love how it's kind of, feels like it's bent off, and yeah, I can see the bracketry there. Yeah, on the outside, I mean, for an old work truck, it could be worse. It could be worse. Could be a lot better too. We'll check out the interior now. These door panels, kind of rough shape, a little bit broken, filthy dirty. Missing the glove box. It's got a fire extinguisher. I think that's kind of cool. I like that about it. Radio's not working. AC and heater does work well. Got a little crack in the windshield. The liner on top is falling down. Got a good bench seat here in the front. We're pretty convinced that this is not the original seat because it's got a fabric seat cover on it. And it definitely feels like, you know, a real seat. It's not just the seat cover, but who knows? It's also not totally ruined up there in the front. It's kind of got this vinyl, you know, fake leather in the back. Why anybody would ever want that in a vehicle, I personally would never not understand. Got a free pair of pliers with it, I guess. Some hedge trimmer cleaner. A few pairs of gloves. I've not really gone through all of it. A little bit of change. You know, I was about to say not really too bad, and I'm sure a lot of people are looking at this thing like, that's horrible. But for a truck that I and my family are just going to beat the absolute crap out of, I think it's all right. I think a little bit of elbow grease and maybe a couple trips to the junkyard and a little bit of cleaning, it'll be all right. But I'll go ahead and put you back on the tripod and start up the engine and let you listen to it. Hopefully you can hear me, but judging by the difference in appearance of some of the things inside here, I think it's totally had the AC system completely redone recently. If you look, hopefully it's in camera, it's in view here, it should be. Everything's nice and new and a lot cleaner than everything else. We've also got probably a newer alternator that's quite a bit cleaner than everything else. I don't know if there's anything else that looks too terribly new to me. Brakes work wonderfully. They're just way, way soft in the Chevy. It does have a weird little humming sound at idle. I've looked it up. People say it's just the PCV. I need to get that checked out, but I'm a little bit questioning that because I've seen other conflicting information. But it sounds like no matter what the issue is, it should be a pretty cheap, inexpensive repair. You know, it's got one of the things I failed to mention was it's got 165,000 miles on it, which is about a little less than 20,000 miles less than my Chevy. Now, don't get me wrong. If I could afford a bigger, nicer truck, I absolutely would love to have a bigger, nicer truck. But for the kind of work that I do, the kind of money I make, I'm pretty thrilled with it. And I think if we can get some of the little issues with it fixed, nothing major that I know of. You know, the steering, I would say, is like kind of like a mid-level issue. It's easily repaired, cheaply repaired, but kind of a big deal, kind of important. Cosmetics are, you know, real minor. And but nothing major. Transmission shifts real smooth. Motor sounds good. I know that the 5.4 liter Triton's not really anybody's favorite engine. I've heard about some of the issues it has, but I'm happier to have a little bit bigger, a little bit more purpose built for the things that I do, heavier duty truck versus the half-ton truck that I feel like I'm oftentimes straining for the work that I put into it. So I'm not really necessarily looking for more power out of the engine as much as weight bearing capacity. I don't remember what the code is, GVWR or whatever it is. Just something I can haul a little bit more with than that half ton. Some of them with a little bit better, heavier duty axle that I can haul stuff with, a little bit more heavy suspension. That dump trailer, every time I put it on, sags that truck. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.